christiangeekcentral.com.
Hey guys, Pater Franson here from christiangeekcentral.com and Spirit Blade Productions. I wanted to give all patrons a heads up about an important fork in the road we are approaching. Now, if you're not a patron, I still want you to know about a potentially big course change coming up for Christian Geek Central and Spirit Blade Productions. I want to say first off also, I'm sorry if it's especially obvious that I'm reading as I go through all of this. There's a lot to cover and I don't want to miss anything that I intended to share. A year and a half ago, I announced that I was ending my work on my planned Pilgrim's Progress audio drama series in favor of producing what I called the Storyteller series, which would adapt books of the Bible into cinematically styled audio story experiences. I definitely felt the encouragement and support of the community in taking that direction, which was extremely helpful as I made that choice to change course. The Spirit Blade trilogy was the audio drama equivalent of summer blockbuster movies in terms of its production style. That was the intent. I really enjoyed producing that kind of audio drama, and I was excited about the idea of bringing that style of production to the Storyteller series. However, as you might imagine, that level of production, in addition to requiring a lot of time from me, cut out of my regular work schedule, requires significant financial resources, both in the sound effects and especially for the high-quality licensed music that makes up the musical score and really gives it a lot of that cinematic flavor. Currently, I'm getting $143 per month in support from patrons, which I am so grateful for. You guys keep this all going, and even when my computer dies and needs a major replacement, as was the case last month, I was able to just keep going except for the time that it was in the shop, and so that has just been wonderful, and I have no reason to think that I can't continue producing the weekly and monthly content you guys are used to seeing from me, and that's all because of and thanks to you patrons, so thank you so much for that. That said, a larger, long-term project like the Storyteller series requires financial resources that we don't have right now. Our monthly total had been high enough for a while to keep the Storyteller series moving forward, but that was largely due to a small number of patrons giving what was really an unexpectedly large amount each month, one of whom has had to decrease their monthly support significantly, bringing us now below the amount needed for the Storyteller series to continue moving forward. While there has been some growth since that dip a few months ago, I don't have any evidence to suggest that I will be able to greenlight the Storyteller series again in the near future. And honestly, I've been wondering if that's really what you guys want from me the most. I am blessed with a community that is so encouraging and seems to be supportive of almost any idea I put on the table, which is so wonderful and encouraging to me, but it does sometimes make it hard for me to gauge if there maybe isn't an even better idea I could be pursuing that you guys would even, be even more excited about, and I'm always filled with ideas that I could potentially be pursuing. So I wanted to create an opportunity for you guys to give me feedback about some of those ideas spinning in my head that I could be pursuing instead of the Storyteller series. If you want a reminder of what basically the pitch was for the Storyteller series, along with a short sample, you'll find a link to that in the description for this video if I do my job right. But right now, I'm just going to focus on and briefly share a number of alternate content types that I could be creating for you instead. One thing that all these ideas I'm going to share will have in common is immediacy. Now, at most, I planned to release 1 hour-long installment of the Storyteller series every 6 months, which compared to my, bigger audio drama production schedule was much more frequent. But that's still, compared to the monthly ongoing content or weekly ongoing content I'm putting out, that's still a significant weight, to just have 1 hour of this type of content every 6 months. But all the ideas I'm about to present as alternatives would come every month, and in some cases possibly more often than once a month. And all of this content would be exclusive to patrons, at least to start, with the possibility of going public at a later time. Now, I can't do all these ideas at once. I could tackle one of these a month, or we'll talk about that in a second. But I didn't want to give you a misunderstanding that, like, as an alternate to the Storyteller series, I could do all the things I'm about to share with you. No, we'd have to be choosy. But anyway, these are some of the ideas I'm thinking of. The first would be a movie watch-along series. This would be a pre-recorded video with optional audio-only versions, of course, of me watching a movie selected by patrons, over which I give both thematic and just kind of fanboy commentary. Similar to the guys over at Riff Tracks, I would use some simple instructions and brief audio cues to help you sync up your viewing of the movie with my commentary and to keep it synced throughout the experience. I imagine doing this, with like dim lighting in my office and a popcorn and soda with like a theater curtain overlay, in the video version. You'd be able to see and hear me geeking out over stuff I love as you watch, as well as share some moment-by-moment commentary and analysis of themes and really their relevance to our normal day-to-day lives. Movies would be narrowed down and selected from my movie collection or now and then from what I can rent at Redbox, and patrons, in my mind, would cast votes in some form to help determine what the movie of the month will be. It's possible that this would be something I could do twice a month, but I only want to commit to once a month for starters to see, how much work it's going to involve. So yeah, that's the movie watch-along idea. The second idea is TV show content. Now, I'm not sure exactly what the exact format would be. This could be a monthly show that gives an overview of my thoughts on multiple ongoing geek TV shows that I keep up with, possibly based on your vote as patrons, or maybe it's like a 6-month commitment to just prioritizing reviewing major premieres and finales, of seasonal shows. You may have noticed, you might think, well, Peter, you're already doing TV content. That's true. For the last month or so, I have been, but in my mind, that's only been an experiment to see what the hunger and the audience is for that kind of content. I don't think I can keep up my current pace of covering TV content and also add another of these new content ideas, or be working on the Storyteller series, at the same time once we have the funding for that. So right now, it's just been an experimental phase, not something that I think I can continue doing, both in terms of time and budget, because I also can't use the subscription service free trials forever, like I used recently to watch and review the season 2 premiere of Titans. I did that off of a trial. If I review the finale of season 2, later on, it will be because I have to fork out and pay for at least 1 month of the DC Universe service. So anyway, the second idea would be some form of increased TV show content, similar to what you've seen lately, with the possibility of also an additional monthly show where I talk about and recap multiple TV shows that I'm watching. The third idea would be to have more tabletop content, which, if you've seen my content in the past, it specifically focuses on content that can be played solo or co-op, or, especially solo, because that's the way I play it to review it or to do a playthrough series. So this would be a combination of an ongoing playthrough series, or at least, for a month, that we do this. And maybe more reviews as well. I could create, if we go this route, a budget to purchase games that I then buy myself with my own personal paid or fund money if I want to keep that game, or I could then just sell it and put the money back into this kind of review budget that I have for games. Right now, one of the main reasons that you don't see me doing more tabletop content is because I have plenty of games that I enjoy. I'm not really super hungry to always play more and more games. It's as far as how much time I put into a hobby, I don't put near as much time into the board game hobby as other hobbies, but I really do enjoy board games a lot, and would be happy to do more content. But I can't justify spending my own personal hobby, money on reviewing games that, I don't really feel a particular hunger to buy. But if we went this route, I could take a little bit of budget and use that to buy games that I wouldn't ordinarily buy, and then sell them back afterward and put that money back into the game review budget, or pay for them myself, kind of buy them, like I said, from Christian Geek Central and Spirit Blade Productions with my own Pater hobby fun money, and keep them if I wanted to. So anyway, I would be able to put some budget into play to allow frequency of reviews to go up. And then also, a playthrough series. I've done 2 playthrough series, one for Gloomhaven, one for Sword and Sorcery. So another playthrough series would be very much like those, a lively, fun playthrough of a game with a focus on enjoying the theme rather than on perfectly representing the rules, which I can pretty much guarantee I'm going to screw up and maybe do that on purpose and modify the rules just whatever I want to do. So it'd be like my usual style of, we're going to use most of the rules, but it's also going to be kind of like a grown man playing with his toys. If you want to tune in for that, then that's what I'm making. Possible thoughts in my mind for a playthrough series would include the classic Milton Bradley's Hero Quest, the Pathfinder adventure card game Core Set, which I just recently did a review for, Descent First Edition. You might sense a theme of dungeon crawlers. I especially like those. And I'm also open to suggestions from patrons for games that are, other games in my library, which I could post and get your feedback on, or games that you want me to purchase. If I have a budget for that, then I could do that. So that's the more tabletop content option. The fourth option would be Essential Issues. Now, this is a series that I already put out now and then, sporadically, when I don't have a movie to review, and I also have time in that week to do a review of a like trade paperback or a story arc in a comic book series or something like that. That is more time consuming than seeing a movie, and so some weeks, even when I need something other than a movie to review, I choose not to do Essential Issues just because I don't have the time for it. But if we went this route, then it wouldn't be sporadic anymore. It would be like a regular episode that I could produce at least one per month, and very likely 2, maybe even more. I don't know, but anyway, so Essential Issues, probably enough said on that. And then the fifth idea takes a little bit of explaining. For those of you that are thinking, I don't want Pater to stop making audio dramas, well then Campfire Quest might interest you. This would be a monthly audio drama podcast that exclusively features campfire conversations between members of a sort of D&D style adventuring party, where they sit around the campfire and recount the events of a day of adventuring as recalled by the party bard, while they while the other party members confirm or deny things that he recalls. The party would include a nasty and bitter old wizard, a raucous adrenaline junkie fighter, a paradoxically compassionate yet judgmental elven female cleric, and an insecure everyman bard chronicling their adventure while also trying to keep them from killing themselves and each other. This would be delivered in both video and audio format, with the video version including still images of the characters and also some simple background video to sort of that runs in a long loop to convey the location of their campsite, which will change with different climates and environments as they're questing who knows where. And a chief gimmick of the series is that through a combination of performance and digital manipulation, all of the characters would be played by me, which is a challenge that I know I would really enjoy sinking my teeth into, and would also allow me to produce the show on a predictable monthly schedule. I'm also imagining that each episode would be inspired by the content of an existing board game or paper and pencil RPG, which patrons could help determine through voting. If you want to hear the party debrief after a day of adventuring through your favorite Dungeons and Dragons module, that would be a possibility. I would also open the door to accepting story ideas and even script submissions for the show, for which contributors would be appropriately credited. This series would likely come in seasonal runs of 4 to 6 episodes, one a month, each running 20 to 30 minutes in length, at least for starters. It would be a largely comedic series, as you can imagine, that plays with tropes of gaming, but that also now and then has poignant moments and always an undercurrent of worthwhile themes from a Christian perspective. It's a series that would be about very different characters interacting with and reacting to each other while experiencing change and development over multiple episodes. I kind of imagine the tagline for Campfire Quest could be, "The real journey happens when they're sitting around." The sixth idea, and there are 7 if you're wondering how long I'm going here. The 6th idea would be more video game content, which would be both more reviews and an ongoing Let's Play series. Similar to the tabletop possibility, I could divert some funds from the storyteller budget so that I could afford to purchase and review some video games that I ordinarily wouldn't, because they're too much of a risk, and I don't know if I'm going to enjoy that, because normally when I buy games that I review because I'm unable to rent them, which sometimes happens, I only buy those games to review that I think I have a pretty good chance that I'm going to enjoy. And otherwise, I would totally just wait for other people's reviews and stuff. So there's always a little bit of a risk when I purchase games that I can't rent. So there are a number of games that I don't even touch that there's a decent possibility I would enjoy. And with a budget set aside for that I could from time to time do that, and then basically again sell the game. I would try to buy it physically, of course, and then sell it to put that money back into the budget, or buy it with my own hobby money to keep it if I want to keep it after the review. And then also, along with that, I could do a Let's Play series. And I could almost guarantee that I could do a video game Let's Play series weekly. Like every other idea on this list, it would be pre-recorded, and I'm thinking we'd do an hour at a time. And this would most likely be games that I have played to completion at some point before, and I'm just coming back to for this Let's Play series. And like the movie commentary idea, this would involve me geeking out and talking about the parts of the game I love, in addition to other reactions, and then also my kind of moment-by-moment commentary of thematic elements and their relationship to our real day-to-day lives as believers. When I think about the possibilities of this, Let's Play idea, I imagine playing games like the BioShock trilogy, Assassin's Creed, Dragon Age Origins, Singularity, the Fallout games, the Wolfenstein games, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and Oblivion, for which I would just, beeline the main quest, Mass Effect, or other classics like Chrono Trigger or early Final Fantasy games. I would, for those longer RPGs, like I said, I would really try to stick with just the mainline quest so we could finish it in a reasonable amount of time. To do an action game straight through would take, I think, at least a few months. I could probably finish a 30-hour RPG in 7 to 8 months at a pace of about 1 hour a week. So anyway, number 6, the option is more video game content, meaning reviews and a Let's Play series. And then finally, number 7, this is different from all the others in that this is a one-shot thing that I would just do 1 month, and then it would never need to be an option again because it would be done. And that's the Spirit Blade: A World of Shadows archive. I have produced extensive behind-the-scenes archives for all of our previous audio dramas, giving listeners a behind-the-scenes look and sneak peek and listen to how those projects were made in terms of both the writing and also the directing and the acting, recording sessions and stuff like that. And boy, if you thought that there was a lot of content in those other installments of my archive series, there is so much that I cataloged and set aside during the multi-year production of Spirit Blade: A World of Shadows. So this would just be something that I would take 1 month to finish up and then just release for you guys. Basically, all I have to do at this point is order all of the files, labeling them chronologically so that you can easily scan through and based on chronology or just type of file, like a text file or an audio file or a video file, whatever interests you, you could easily find what interests you in the chronology of the production of of Spirit Blade: A World of Shadows and check that out and just go on a journey through the whole production schedule. A while back, I had planned to make this a reward for reaching a certain monthly support goal, but now I'm thinking I'll just put it in with these other ideas and just let you guys tell me when or even if, you want this at some point. Here's a little promo and sample I cooked up a while back that I had intended to give you guys an idea of the video content alone amidst the tons and tons of behind-the-scenes content that would be released with this archive. So here, take a look and a listen. This basically is just the entire outline of the entire script. And the portal opens and Vincent tackles Merrick, sending both through the portal. Now we're in the spirit world. You can't kill me here either, Vince.
Hi, Peter. This is Brittany Stevens.
You know Ebony.
Reading her is like trying to solve Zakarian-Geisler equations.
And once more.
Well, you know, Ebony, reading her is like trying to tie a waffle onto a donkey. Thanks. See you soon.
Good again?
Thanks. See you soon.
A little bit more businesslike, like, okay, here we go.
Sorry.
Were you even like...
I was hamming it for the
No wonder. That's what I heard. That's
Really?
what I heard. I heard in your voice.
Thanks.
See you soon. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
My reality is what I make it now, and my power is unstoppable! That was not good.
Whatever we may need to lose or to give, however you might shake us in order to remake us, let them see beyond our brokenness to what we can't express of who you really are. This is the blood gurgling demo. Okay, she's new at this. I've done it a few times. But you don't want to use that much water. Yeah? Oh, that's disturbing. Great.
Oh, okay, good.
Got what I need. Okay. Great! Yeah! Oh my gosh, that's gonna be awesome!
I almost said stop, and I thought, oh, this is probably exactly what he wants.
Yes, like the last three, because we were getting the chest voice. We were going, "Gah!" But then there was a little break at the end. "Gah! Gah!" It was just like, oh, and I was like, yeah.
Is that what you think I am? It's true, isn't it? You think I deserve this?
Yes, well done, Merrick. Tearing themselves, each other, and this world apart in the process. It has always been this way. And your delusional belief that the Only can somehow use evil to bring about his plan while retaining the free will of his creations is... well, it's a very creative fantasy.
Ran, you are the best friend anyone can have. And the greatest man I've ever known.
Daddy,
Yes.
can I have one of my treats?
Did you eat all of your cheese and crackers and all of your lunch?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, then you can pick one of your treats.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
What did you say?
I said bye-bye. Can you close the door, please?
Yeah, but Daddy, what treat?
You pick one of the treats. Welcome to my world.
Okay, so in keeping with, I guess, biblical completeness, those are 7 ideas that we could go with. Recapping again, the movie watch-along series, increased TV show content with a possible TV series, monthly series, more tabletop content, a regularly scheduled essential issues installments, Campfire Quest, the audio drama series, more video game content and a Let's Play series, and finally the Spirit Blade: A World of Shadows archive. I can only add one of those to my plate right now, but as my monthly patron support grows, eventually Holly can take hours off from her weekly work schedule, and I can add hours to mine as that happens, enabling more of these content options to be possible at once. In the meantime, it would also be an option to let the patrons decide every month or every few months which of these kinds of content they would like me to make for them. We don't have to lock in to any one of these forever, or even more than a month in some cases. I also want to say that if I do create new monthly content instead of pursuing development of the Storyteller series, that doesn't mean I'm like burning the bridge bridge to the Storyteller series. You know, maybe in 3 to 5 years there will be enough support and interest in it for me to come back to it and to pick it up again. I'm also, of course, saving all of my work on it, so I could pick it up again at any time that the financial resources allow. So I'm open to coming back to it at some point. My wife definitely wants me to, but it would need to be what enough of you patrons want from me. Right now, we don't have enough patrons for me to continue on that path. Maybe that will unexpectedly change in the near future. I don't know the future, but I don't want to count on that unless you guys really want me to stay the course and just patiently wait for the patron amount to reach where it needs to be. So that's why I need you to help me make this decision. Now, I've thrown a lot of new ideas at you. I'm not expecting you to sort through them all and have like this definitive conclusion right now. I really just want your feedback and preference between two options, which are, number one, I keep doing what I've been doing without significantly adding any content creation to my plate, and wait and hope for our funds to increase so that I can resume work on the Storyteller series. That would be option one. Option two is that for roughly the next 5 months, I would divert some funds from the Storyteller series and over those months produce pilots for some of the different types of content I've described, after which I can get your feedback and decide more firmly what direction to go in. The pilots I produce would be for just 3 of them: the movie watch-along, the Campfire Quest audio drama series, and a video game Let's Play. Reason being that there are already examples on the Christian Geek Central channel of those other types of content that I could add, more and varying types of, and the A World of Shadows archive is a one-shot thing anyway. I don't know how to make a pilot for that other than the clip I already shared with you. That's still a lot to think about, I recognize, so I'm going to be hosting a 1-hour all patrons voice chat on our Insiders Discord channel tomorrow. If you're hearing this on the podcast, you've already missed it. I apologize for that. But that's going to be Thursday, September 19th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time. If you have any questions or concerns about anything I've shared, I'd love to hear from you there. Or you can email me privately at paeter@spiritblade.com or leave a comment below this video. Anytime, by the way, during that Discord hangout that's not needed to answer your questions, I'll just be happy to hang out and chat with you guys. It's not very often that I do kind of an all patrons voice chat on the Discord, so I hope you will come by for that, even if you don't have any questions. Your Patreon account should have granted you access to our Discord server and to that insider voice chat server. If you run into any problems, let me know. I'll try to help you out before the chat begins tomorrow. Then on Friday, I'm going to launch a patron-only poll allowing patrons to vote between those two options of continuing the status quo or diverting to pilot production for the next 5 months. The poll will be the only feedback I will factor in when making my final decision. So if you are not a patron and want to influence my decision, the only way to do that is by becoming a patron of any tier, even the $1 tier, at patreon.com/spiritbladeproductions. Anyway, my voice is drying out on me. So wrapping up, to my patrons, thank you guys so much for your support. I'm really looking forward to your feedback to help me just kind of sort through this decision. Talk to you soon.
christiangeekcentral.com